Hi, I'm Ashley Dyer, but I also write as Margaret Murphy and A.D. Garrett. And I'm here at The Word today for the Murder Squad writing and reading weekend. I was actually the founder of Murder Squad.
And we're 6 writers based around the north of England, all writing within the crime genre, and we come together occasionally to do events. So we've been here today at The Word talking about writing and our interest in writing, and also in terms of the practicalities of being published.
And I'm here at The Word today to give a presentation and run a workshop on forensics in crime scenes.
Relating to the workshop that you've just done, do you have any thoughts on the prejudice towards self and independent publishers?
Often people who are self-published are viewed as being lesser authors because they couldn't find a publishing deal, so they've had to go down the self-publishing route. And I think it's a bit of a myth often, because many self-published authors have chosen to be self-published because of commercial interests and earning a higher royalty through their ebooks. Some of the prejudice against indie authors is very unfounded, and there's certainly some incredibly good quality self-published books out there, as is demonstrated actually by the sales figures. Lots of the best-selling books on Amazon, so the most loved books by readers are by indie authors.
And are there any common myths or assumptions made by the crime novelists and screenwriters you work with that just make your eyes roll?
Yes, it's usually with forensic evidence. There's always a big assumption that there must be DNA at a crime scene, and that DNA will always solve the crime for you, and usually within half an hour.
And your workshop was on creating credible villains. Do you have a favourite villain in fiction or film?
It has to be Hannibal Lecter, but I would say the first 2 Lecter books and the films as well, but mainly the books, because Thomas Harris gives great depth to the characters as well as to the female characters, which is really important to me as a writer.
I'm quite eclectic. Normally I'll read just about anything that looks like it might be interesting.
Something I recently read, which I really enjoyed, was by Shannon Kirk, who's an American author who's published over here too. And she's written a book which is really interesting because the concept is so interesting. You have a teenage girl who's kidnapped, she's almost ready to give birth, and she's being held against her will. But she's a person who is very manipulative, very different, very analytical, and you wonder who's more at threat, the abductor or the teenage girl.
I really love American crime books that are set down on the kind of Tex-Mex border, and there's one I read recently called Don't Skip Out on Me by Willie Vlortin, and it's quite Cormac McCarthy-esque in its sort of style. That was a great book. And then another one which has just come out as a film very recently called The Sisters Brothers. So it's 2 brothers who are kind of hitmen, and their surname is Sisters.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.